Welcome to the episode of Husbands Watching Housewives. I'm Scott.
And I'm Jeff.
And we just watched an episode of the Real Housewives of Atlanta.
We did the finale, season 16 finale.
If you can call it that. That was a weak finale.
It was a little womp-womp.
Yeah, a little more than a little womp-womp, I think. But we'll get into that.
Yes.
So first, apologies. We're running a little day late. Yesterday was on Sunday when Atlanta aired originally. We normally watch the show, then we come upstairs right away and immediately record the podcast. So everything's fresh in our mind. Well, yesterday was San Francisco Pride, and one of us might have enjoyed Pride a little too much in the way of drinks and could not stay awake during the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So one of us, that would be me.
Yes, it's on me.
Yeah. One of us is the reason for this delay. But Jeff was very nice in saying, hey, we should do this tomorrow. And he let me get my sleep. Also, I had a dentist appointment this morning, so that was even more fun. So
it was a lot in those last 24 hours.
Yeah, definitely a lot. I would say even beyond. I don't think I had that much to drink, honestly. I mean, I know I had a fair share, but it was also really warm. We were out in the sun all day.
Right.
There was a lot of walking.
Yeah, I think by the time you got in the car, it totally hit you, and you were feeling not so great. And I was like, oh, please do not throw up in the car.
Oh, I would never.
And you did not.
I would never do that. So thank you very much. I'm sorry. I'm a louse of a husband when it comes to recording our podcast.
Just good. It's a day late, not a week late.
Yeah.
And we also have some time because, spoiler alert, the reunion doesn't start until the following Sunday. So not next Sunday, the next Sunday, because apparently people think, or Bravo thinks, that everyone's off 4th of July that weekend and they won't stop to watch Housewives. But whatever.
Bravo really needs to get it in their head that people are going to be dying. They'll be home for they'll be home for 3 days if they get that Friday off, and they're going to want some sort of Housewives. They need new Housewife content.
The 4th is on Friday, not Sunday. It's like, are you going to be... I don't understand.
I think it's people who are traveling or going away for the weekend, that sort of thing. But again, if Atlanta's good enough to be on a Sunday night before a work day, it should be good enough to carry a holiday weekend as well. So I don't understand it.
It also helps with the Sunday scaries. They're like, oh, I have something to look forward to before I have to go into work on Monday.
Right.
Poor planning.
Poor planning. We should run Bravo. We should be the head of programming. We should get Andy Cohen's job.
He's not head of programming. He's not.
He was once upon a time, though, right?
He was vice president, but now or EVP or something. But no, he is not.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He just does. He produces the Housewives and he produces Watch What Happens Live.
So this episode,
right?
Granted, I was a little disjointed because I don't remember the first half of it because we watched it last night. Watched the second half today. It still, at the end of the day, lands as a kind of a weak finale because the whole thing about who called Marcus, I don't care.
I feel like things didn't really get resolved, and it was just with any of the fights, and then at the end, so it wasn't very satisfying. Had Porsha and Shamea really talked it out about Brit's allegations that Shamea was showing everybody and her sister her text and bad-mouthing Porsha, then that would have been something, but it didn't happen.
Right.
So, yeah.
And then even when, this whole grand thing Angela planned on, we're going to get Marcus in here and he's going to tell us what happened. And then he didn't tell us what happened. And what he did was, Junebug told me. What the hell are you talking about?
It went from a Godfather to... We'll get there.
Yeah. Well, I think where else are we going?
Well, there's certain things that happen. So,
okay.
So let's say Kelli.
Yeah.
Now we know she's finally ending her divorce, but at the time... During the episode, she was worried about that and opening up her new store, her new restaurant, and dealing with her 4 children. And so that was Kelli.
So that was a womp.
Yeah. Well, and then she and Brit went head to head at Shamea's showcase because Shamea had a showcase, which sure.
Would you say,
I didn't know she had an album coming out.
Would you say it was a showcase showdown?
Had this not, that could be an episode title, but no.
No, we got better. We have better ones.
It's like Junebug is the episode title.
Yeah, something about that.
Godfather of Atlanta. No. So yeah, she and Brit went back and forth, and then Shamea pulled Brit aside to go back and forth, and that's when we get finally this whole not so alleged because it actually happened. Brit talking about Shamea's daughter. Like, shouldn't you be home? Or you went to Miami when you should have been home with your kid. And it's like, never go there. Just like Angela shouldn't have gone there with Phaedra and her kids at the end. Like, it just serves no point to bring kids into it.
Yeah, I mean, it never moves anything further along.
No.
And it gives them that whole excuse of like, you went too low.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly.
And then even if sometimes it's true when people bring out the kids, you're like, oh, well, that's true. But now no one's going to listen because...
Yes. And then like Shamea calls her a pill popper, and it's like, it felt it fell.
Yeah. And again, because we haven't seen evidence or they haven't really developed any sort of thing that shows us, the viewer, that Brit is under the influence of something possibly, or that she's taking pills. Like if they, all season long they showed her like popping a pill, like okay,
or like going to her purse, yeah.
Or slurring her words, or just doing something that just seemed off or erratic. But none of that happened. So now we're just like, okay, you're a pill popper. All right, fine.
I'm surprised there's as much as Brit that we got in this episode, considering that she's suing the network and didn't show it to the reunion because. What's the point? It's like she had that whole segment of like, my family's all together. We're gonna
have our pregnancy announcement.
Yeah, we're gonna get married because we got married during COVID. We have a real ceremony. No one cares. I mean, I guess they could have gone back and re-edited the last show and taken her out of more of it. But I think this makes it so that she's a one-and-done housewife. Story's been, wrapped up. Right.
There's really nothing else at question. So, I mean...
That's true.
They gave her a nice, pretty little bow, and now I think they can, from a, feeling good about themselves, feel good about themselves. Like they didn't do her dirty,
Well, also, too, going back to the lawsuit, which we listened to, the Bravo docket, she hasn't actually officially filed a lawsuit.
No.
Isn't that what they were saying? She's
saying that it's filed, but as of the time that they recorded their podcast, it hadn't been served. And so the courts knew about it, but basically because the lawsuit hasn't been served, then the plaintiffs don't have to respond. Not the plaintiffs, the defendants don't have to respond to it. So it's basically like, yeah, I created this lawsuit, but I'm not moving forward with it anywhere. Like until...
So no one's gone to like Bravo headquarters in New York and served like some rando who works there with papers.
Right. That's what they were saying. So, So yeah, while there's a lawsuit in existence, like until they do that, it's not going to go anywhere.
Right.
But maybe it has since they've recorded their podcast. I don't know.
It's as half-assed as like Brit going shopping for private planes.
I mean, if we didn't believe her buying a Lamborghini like 5 episodes ago, why would we think a private plane was in her?
And the shapewear and like her insurance license, which we discovered also from
on the Bravo docket,
that she lost a while ago.
Yeah, in 2022. So
nothing about her is real. Like,
yeah,
it's all smoke and mirrors. It's horrible casting, I must say.
I mean, it could have gone. I mean, you're saying that now with perfect hindsight. I mean,
no, I didn't like it. Going back to the beginning of the year. Well, especially now that we know the photos weren't her. Not that doesn't make that bad.
Right.
Kenyon brought them out, but like, she has not given enough to warrant her hiring. Not that I want anyone fired. We don't say that, but I don't understand the choice.
Right.
And I don't think even if she had shown up to the reunion and been asked back, I don't know what we could have gotten from her next year, unless she would have felt more comfortable to not try to produce herself. Because I think that's also her problem.
Right.
I
mean, I think that she was a great hire as far as it could have gone so much better. Like at the beginning of the season, first couple episodes, yeah, there was some, abrasiveness, but
how was she a great hire?
I think she brought some excitement. The friendship with her and Kelli was good, but then I think she took it the wrong direction.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that like all the formula was there for her to do well, and she just didn't pick it up and run with it. She totally, I think, screwed herself over. So. Yeah. Or not. This is how she wanted things to go, and she got her way,
Yeah, I still think there were a lot of attributes that, like, she wasn't quick with comebacks. She wasn't, good at, like having a conversation or resolving things. I think it was just a lot of whining, or maybe that's just her voice.
That's just her voice.
Yeah, I wasn't giving.
I guess I say there was a lot of potential there. I can see what they saw in hiring her is a lot of potential, and she could have taken that and done well, but instead I think she kind of sabotaged herself.
I also don't think she has like a real sense of humor about herself that you get from like say Kelli or Angela,
right?
Or much better, or Shamea.
Yeah,
yes. Oh God, yeah. It's just like this is me. I'm Red, and
that's a pretty good one. And then, oh God, when her family came over, I could there's a whole room full of them.
I question it. So that's Brit, and then so we have
Brit's way over there, over your head now. You didn't even move her over when you moved over the rest of the photos. You're like, leave Brit over there.
That's where she belongs. Shamea, we got the showcase. Drew dogging her out for like her vocals, which I don't know. They did the thing where it's like we heard half of it live and half was like the pre-recorded track that Bravo just put over it. That just probably worked better for what they're trying to get. So I can't really judge the whole full showcase, but the fact that she like had costume changes and like went to the audience and like I think she's a very engaging performer.
Right.
I don't know, I haven't listened to like the full song, so I don't know.
Well, I totally remember the scene you're talking about. 100% remember it, and I have no comments to make. You summed it up perfectly.
Do you remember the fight after the showcase?
Yes, I do. No, not really.
Anyways, we've summed it up. It's fine.
Sorry. Drew. She's wearing one glove.
Oh my God.
What? I don't.
Just take it off.
Yeah, I don't.
And the ring over the gloves. Stop mispigging, ladies. Stop mispigging.
The whole Drew sitting down on the couch with Ralph and like talking about their co-parenting.
Him at the piano.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I don't need this, but I haven't needed it all year long. I certainly didn't need it this time.
Well, it was so also like obviously trying like, let's wrap this up in a bow. Let's try to do better and be better co-parents. And then you see in her where are they now? That they're still going through the divorce proceedings. So
it's ridiculous. And you were doubtful that there were going to be men at the reunion, but then now we've seen the trailers for it.
Freaking like Ralph, Dennis, and Charles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so it'd be Ralph.
Obviously, Gerald didn't want to like have anything to do with this.
Ralph gets 5 more minutes of fame.
Yes. Oh my! At least Drew won't be singing from her last seat.
So my whole thing with Drew this episode was in the role that she played in
God, the reveal.
Yeah, the role she played in finding Marcus and like, oh, I brought him here and all this stuff. And
holding his hand.
Yeah, I'm just like, this just seems really weird. And in the back of my head, I was thinking, what if it was Drew who set this whole thing up and Angela went to her and was like, yeah, that's the thing is that this whole like who hired Marcus or who gave Marcus the info is just so not compelling. I don't care who did. Like, I just want to know who did it.
Yeah.
But I don't care to theorize. This isn't like who gave Heather Gay a black eye. Like, this isn't like a great mystery that we need to solve. Like, if Detective Kenya was still on the show, maybe she would solve
Kenya would have like sussed that out real quick.
But I feel like the whole premise of, one, the way that Angela introduced it was fun because it was like you called it, the Agatha Christie murder mystery.
So I thought maybe it's Kelli because it was your event, but no. Yeah. And then I thought, Brit, I mean, we're in a good place right now, but I did call you a whore, so maybe, but no.
But it's Phaedra.
Da da da.
The godfather of Atlanta.
I mean,
yeah, it just. And that makes no sense, but at the same time, none of it makes.
Here's the thing. It's easy to put on Phaedra because she was really gleeful about the news and like ran to go tell it. She has a history of doing shady stuff behind the scenes. So I don't know what she done Married to Medicine, but to make them all hate her. But it seems like she's not the best friend in the friend group. The group that she rotates around.
Yeah.
So like, it's, given, history, I could see Angela thinking, Yeah, I buy it.
But I wouldn't come hard for someone so quickly on my first season if I didn't have like proof. And even her retelling of what the proof was,
not even like
weak.
This has nothing to do with her first season. If you're gonna come at someone like that, she needs someone better than Marcus to deliver the news. She needed actual evidence.
Right.
And she didn't have any of that.
Didn't need her husband interrupting the whole
Well, also, too, sidebar, the fact that you can tell how little they communicate because she did not give him a heads up this was happening.
Right.
And so he, like, went ballistic thinking, like, what is this dude doing here? He was the one who started this stuff. Like, had she told him, he would have been, like, off doing his whatever. He's like, okay, you're going to leave and do the thing? All right, I'm going to go over here. But he flipped out. Like, why would you not give him a heads up that Marcus was coming and that he had news to tell about Phaedra? Like, okay, no.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, it's so funny because so many times housewives sit down with husbands and they'll say, so we won't believe, what happened to me last night and da-da-da-da. And obviously they've already told the husband and they're just there for that scene, that talk to scene. But this time, Charles had no clue that she had met with Marcus and everything that was with the backstory. And it was just like, now is not the time to not say, like, no, that was bad. So I still like Angela a lot, but that really failed. I don't know if it was Phaedra. I don't really care at this point,
Right.
but I definitely stand behind Angela or Phaedra because I still am not 100% behind the Phaedra of it all on this show. It's just something that rubs me the wrong way about it.
Yeah.
And the Chi-Chi and I don't understand why she's back completely. There's some funny moments and, it's familiar.
Right.
But I am not totally in it.
I was earlier while I was watching, I felt confident I could do my Phaedra impression, but now I'm not so much, which just has everything's always just that whole like, ooh, oh, bad things happening. Oh, I'm being breathy.
She's a young whippersnapper.
I'm Phaedra. Isn't everything she says is like that?
I feel like you're about to like go up on like, damn spicy.
No.
Like I one step away from that.
No. I mean, everything, I don't know. Was she like that before? Is that the way she spoke before? Or is this all like from Traitors?
No, it's like, I thought. Like it's always a head tilt and because it's a little bit rehearsed. Phaedra likes a rehearsed read. So
that's true.
Yeah.
You've mentioned that before.
So, yeah, but Chi-Chi, whatever, her son, I'm not into it. I'm not feeling it, whatever.
Yeah, agreed.
So, yeah, and going back to Angela and Charles, whatever, hope they're okay.
Yeah.
I liked the therapy scene with the Wendy.
Yeah. I remember that as well.
That they both see her separately. I think that's interesting.
Yeah.
I like Angela a lot. She gives me good feelings. I get good vibes, and I think she is a great hire.
And I think she'll do well at the reunion as well.
Yes.
Like just the clip we've seen where if I look 52, then girl, you look 62.
Yeah.
Like I think she can hold her.
Charles too. Like where your husband's at?
Yeah.
Silence.
I think all season long, that's what's made Angela good is that she holds her own. She's like not afraid to speak her mind. I think her hand was held slightly by production and like she was fed information, things to do and things to say. Like I don't think she brought a lot of on her own, but the stuff she was bringing on her own was all about her house and her real estate career, which made it even funnier in this last episode when...
Phaedra tried to bring it up.
Yeah, and Angela's like, please, like, I'll tell you. I'll tell you.
I'll tell you about my foreclosures.
Yeah. It's like, I do not keep that a secret.
That's the thing about that fight with Phaedra at the end. They are both like reaching for things that had nothing to do with the topic. Like when Angela started talking about Phaedra not allowing her kids to see Apollo, or like you wish you had a marriage. And like Phaedra's like, about your foreclosures. What does that have to do with like Phaedra allegedly paying this Marcus dude to come on the show?
That would have been more interesting, is to be like, to have, even if it was just a very painstaking, like, why would I do that? And then Angela lay out, this is what he said, and we're not going to get any more information on this at the reunion. It's such a shaky premise to begin with.
It is very shaky. Shaky. So the Porsha of it all. I
mean, yay, but...
First of all, whoever like wrote that thing about the where are they now and the ice joke, not funny. Not funny.
Yeah.
Also, you had plenty of time since she revealed the divorce is finalized. Why didn't they add that? It's not on ice anymore. They're divorced.
Yeah, that's.
So maybe they locked the episode before they could do that. Who knows?
But yeah, that whole picking up cameras just to show her in her house and have Mama Diane come over and
PJ, and it's Christmas, and her on the treadmill, like she's actually working out, but she's not.
Hey,
she's done full glam.
I wear full glam whenever I work out.
Every time.
That's my secret to why I never work out.
Don't want to ruin that full glam.
Right. Well, also I can't afford the full glam. So
that good beat.
Right. When I get a full beat, then I get on the treadmill, and until then, I won't be on the treadmill. Period. So,
what do you think? Because it comes up at the reunion, the clip we saw, overall about Porsha's return. Like, what are your feelings on
it? I thought it was good. Yeah, I wouldn't call it a flop like Drew did. No, I think Porsha came back and gave us what we needed. I don't think anyone was expecting there to be this, Jill Zarin sort of entrance, I think I'm using that right. Yeah, no, I don't think anyone was trying to make a moment. I don't think Porsha was even trying to make a moment. Like, Porsha's like, yeah, I'm back and I'm going to do my thing and, pick up where I left off. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think it was good.
I think it's good too. I think, she needs other strong players around her.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know who that is, but I think there's a lot of great players already with Angela and Shamea, and they have people and I guess people would say Phaedra, but I wouldn't. So there's like this good tier, and there's kind of a little bit lower tier with like Kelli and Drew and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think a lot of people have said that Porsha can't carry a show, and I don't think she necessarily was. A lot of the show was built around her and the divorce and whatever,
right.
And now in her friendship with the Shamea. But I think she's great, and I'm so happy that she's back. But I just think she can't do it alone necessarily. So,
yeah, I think a bigger to-do was made about Phaedra coming back than Porsha.
Yeah.
So, like, I would say that, like, Porsha wasn't aiming to have a huge entrance, so that's one thing. Can she support? No. I think the problem is that she's being too Giselle-y and trying not to produce herself, but, like, won't talk about certain things. And, like, the fact that she got up and left, during her conversation with Shamea and all that earlier in the season, like that's sort of makes me think that like you're editing yourself is I guess what I'm getting at with that. I think she does edit herself too much, and that's where she does need to have someone to react to and have situations that she can be part of, not necessarily that she creates.
Right, or have someone really to go. Not that she needed to be held to the fire, but I don't. Aside from Drew, who is not the best, people don't really go up against her. Even Shamea will do it to a certain extent, but then she's like, she loves her so much and is such a good friend that she's not going to go the full smackdown on it that somebody else would, like a Kenya or a Nene or whatever.
Now, I will say that there was something every time I saw them on camera in Porsha, Phaedra, and Cynthia. There's just something about the three of them, like being kind of old school.
Yeah.
That like it's comforting, and like you see them on there. And I think they also they have been friends for so long and known each other for so long that they're just an ease of communicating and talking. I do want to see more of that. And that's where I don't think even had Drew been in the room with them, I don't think they would have been talking the same way, because they would have been like, that's true.
That's true.
And I think that's the same way with some of the newer women as well. It's not, they're not trusting them, and right or wrong, I want to see more of that dynamic where they're just like they're old friends and like we got each other, you're not gonna worry about it.
I think it seems to like gel better, because it does seem like a bit of like them old school versus new school, even on the couches at the reunion.
Well, like the way Cynthia just apologized at the end, like, hey, I'm sorry that I overstepped and I told Shamea about what Brit told us.
Not that she wouldn't have seen it when it aired.
Right. But still, like, that's the sort of thing where that's the sort of conversation you have with someone who knows they're not going to freak out on you,
And they respect you and you respect them. So it's a different kind of relationship. You're not going for the jugular. You're not going for a gotcha.
And that if you did have, if you did go for the jugular, you'd make sure you had actual evidence.
Yes.
So.
Same.
All Are we forgetting anyone?
Um,
Yeah, who's over my head?
no.
Blair, Tootie.
Beverly Ann.
Beverly, thank you. It wasn't Mrs. Garrett. She wasn't over our heads.
No, no, she was because the old store burned down.
His edibles
Yes.
burned down.
Yes.
Yes. Well, you take the good.
Take the bad.
Well,
yeah, I'm looking forward to the reunion.
yeah, I am too. I don't know how they're gonna make it 3 parts.
A lot of stretching. Let's go 3 segments deep on the Porsha Shamea friendship.
A lot of clip packages.
Yes, and the Drew and of it all.
Oh, Drew. Oh, so everyone's coming back, don't you think? Like, if you have to guess right now,
I don't think anyone's totally safe. I think for sure Phaedra, because she's been telling everybody.
Yeah.
Porsha, Shamea.
Oh yeah. I think Angela will be back.
Angela for sure.
Yeah.
I think Kelli and to a certain extent Drew are maybe more so in jeopardy. And I think for sure they should bring Cynthia back as a friend.
Yeah.
Because it's a great role for her. So yeah, I think obviously Brit's not coming back. So I think the shaky ones would be Kelli and Drew.
Again, I mean, I shouldn't have even opened my mouth about it because every time we make these predictions and we find out the next day everyone was fired. Jeez. Because I was the one who was like, oh, I really hope they give so and so another chance, and we find out.
Oh, we were like NECA, and we were even though we didn't totally love NECA, we're like, oh, they'll give NECA another shot.
Next day, no,
cut.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that Kelli was not a fan favorite, but I think
Kelly's great. I just don't think she's made as big of a splash. I think she should come back, but I don't know if the network feels the same.
Right.
So,
I don't want to say it because we don't. I'm done with Drew. I think she's got a nice bow on her story, and we don't need another 3 years of her getting divorced. It's like the opposite of Robin Dixon. Like, when are they ever going to get married? It's like, now, are they ever going to get divorced?
Well, it was like Kenya, took forever for her to get divorced.
But they didn't make it a year after year after year, did they?
It was. Because basically it's like she got married at the end of, off camera at the end of season 10, didn't come back for 11, and then from 12, they were still fine, but I guess from 13, 14, 15, it was about the divorce.
I mean, I guess divorces take a long time, but I don't.
Well, when you're fighting, especially when kids involved.
Well, I don't need to watch them real time. On my Housewives.
No, not so much.
Yeah, no, I think I like everyone to come back. Give or take Drew.
Yeah.
But I think Kelli was great. I think Angela's great. I just don't. I think they need some consistency.
Yeah,
and that's the thing that bites them in the ass is when they don't have a consistent cast, and so you never you're like, why should I bother to get to know these people? They're just gonna be gone,
Right.
So I think that's why I encourage.
Yeah, I would like to hear more about Angela and Kelli and for sure Shamea. So I hope
I'll even be excited to have Drew back if she has another storyline other than I'm a musician, actress, whatever, and Ralph. I want something else.
Agree. There has to be something else.
Give us our lesbian storyline like we've been teased for so many times. Come on.
That was just a phase.
Allegedly. So, well, did we cover everything?
I think we did.
Okay, and so then we'll cover more next time.
Till next time.